My reign as a Jeopardy champion lasted almost 35 minutes.
This was coming, like the waiting room of the vasectomist, and I know that's not what he's called. I know there's like a fancy word, but...
If you leave, I have nothing left to live for.
We all have something about us. Each of us has something that lets people know who we are so we can remember what our family members and our friends look like. It could be a square jaw, high cheekbones, red hair, green eyes. But there's something distinctive that allows us to know who's John and who's Bob and who's Sally and who's Lisa, and allow us to tell each other apart. So each of us have this characteristic. Except my husband. He has nothing. There's nothing. You can try. I mean, I tried to remember him. People try to. And he's handsome. I mean, I think he's a handsome man. He could have been a great spy. He's gone golfing with people, spent 4 or 5 hours, went into the pro shop. They didn't know who he was. We've gone out to dinner with people, sat across from another couple, eye to eye, spent the evening talking, having drinks and a meal. The next morning, he goes to Harris Teeter to buy a gallon of milk, sees the guy from the night before. He has no idea who he is. And this happens to him all the time, and it wasn't until a couple years ago that I learned there's a name for it. It's called a tan man. So my husband is a tan man. You know, when I first met him, not because of his looks, because I couldn't remember what he looked like, but I knew I was going to marry him, and I knew it, and it was not like I'm so in love, I'm going to marry him, or butterflies in my stomach. It was this, oh my goodness, I meet him, and I felt this sense of like safety and security. Like, I felt safe with him. And there was just this feeling of, he is a really, really good person. And I knew I was going to marry him, and I went home and I told my mom, I met the man I'm going to marry. Now, interestingly, he did not feel that way about me. He felt I was rude. I was a rude person. And there's a reason for that. There was a misunderstanding. See, our friends Amy and Jim had been trying for months to get us together. Amy was my friend, Jim was his friend, and they wanted us to meet. And every time we talked about getting together for a certain date, something came up and we could never pull it off. And then we just completely abandoned the idea and didn't talk about it. And then my 21st birthday was coming up, and I was so excited because all my friends, we were all turning 21, and we were going to be able to drink indoors now. And we were so excited. And so we had this big plan that on my 21st birthday, my friends and I, and this guy Rob I was dating, we were going to be at this bar called Floods in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. And we were so excited. And a little bit earlier that night, my friend Amy said to me, hey, remember that guy, Dale, I told you about that we wanted to fix you up with? And I said, yeah. And she said, well, he's going to be there tonight. And I was like, oh, that's great. Like, the more the merrier. And then... but what happened was, that's what Amy told me, but what Jim had told Dale was, hey, remember that girl Mary I told you about? And he said, yeah. And Jim said, how about the 4 of us go out and have drinks? Well, I'll go and meet at Floods for her 21st birthday. So Dale felt it was very rude that I brought a date to our very first date. But, you know, Jim very kindly explained the misunderstanding and said, why don't you call her and ask her out? And Dale did call me and ask me out. And once again, I'm on the phone. I'm like, gosh, I've never felt this way with someone. Just so comfortable to say whatever I wanted to say, and just such a sense of safety. And he asked me out, and I said sure, and he was going to pick me up at my house, which was really good, because once again, I have no idea what he looks like, but I am going to marry him. And so the night comes when he's going to pick me up, and the time comes when he's going to pick me up, and then it goes by, And then 15 minutes, and then a half hour, and 45 minutes, and he's still not there, and I'm realizing he's not coming. So I called my friend Jennifer, and it wasn't, I had just turned 21, like within days. So I was kind of like, okay, plan B is pretty good. So I called Jennifer and I said, hey, remember that guy that I'm gonna marry that I can't remember what he looks like? Well, we were supposed to go out and he didn't show up. So do you wanna go out? And we'll go out. And we did. And we went to a nightclub and we were dancing. We had so much fun and it was just so exciting. And it was really late and I got home and I came in my house and the phone rings. Hello? And I hear, hi, Mary? And I said, yes. Hi, Mary, this is Billy Hagan. I'm a friend of Dale Carey's. And I said, yeah. And he said, well, Dale's really sorry he didn't meet you tonight. He feels terrible. We went to Maryland, and it turns out we didn't make it back from Maryland. We're still there. And he, well, anyway, he's right here, and he'd like to talk to you. Do you want to talk to him? And I said, okay. And once again, oh, my goodness, good guys. So comfortable, and he's so apologetic and sincere, and he said, I'll call you when I get back, and we'll make another plan. And I said, okay. So he does call, and we make a plan, and he suggests that we go to this bar called Swiftwater Inn, and I had never been there before, and I just turned 21, and I'm so excited, and it's a total dive bar. But our plan, so I'm gonna meet him with my friend Jennifer. Jennifer and I are at this dive bar, and he's coming with his friends, and this bar has no doors on the ladies' room stalls or anything. There were Christmas lights on the dance floor. And I don't know what he looks like. And I don't want to be rude, so every guy who comes in the bar, I hop off my bar stool, and I go over to greet them, but I don't want to just say, hi. I'm like, hi. Hey, to every guy who walks in that bar, which created some of their own misunderstandings, because it turns out none of them were him. And 15 minutes go by, and 30, and 45, and he's not showing up. But once again, Jennifer and I are like, well, let's go hit the clubs. And so we leave, and we are dancing and having so much fun, lights, and just a great time being 21. And it's late, and I go home, and I get in the house, and the phone rings. Hi, Mary. This is Billy Hagan. I'm Dale Carey's friend. I mean, Dale is 22, but he's got people. He's got front office. And so he explains that they did get there, but they got there much later, and since I wasn't there, Dale felt terrible, and he's so sorry, and would I like to talk to him? And I said, okay. So Dale gets on the phone, and once again, wonderful guy, so sincere, apologetic. He wasn't driving, got there later, feels terrible. He's gonna call and ask me out. And I said, okay. So he calls. And in the course of our conversation, he said, he found out that I liked basketball. And he said, I play on a summer league basketball team. Would you like to maybe go to a game and then we'll go out afterwards? And I said, oh, sure, that would be fun. And so I drive up, and Jennifer got me this cute little yellow outfit with this skirt, shorts that kind of look like a skirt with a little tank top. And I'm thinking I'm so cool. And I show up, and I'm early, and his team isn't even there yet. There's another game playing, and there's the court here, and then there's this hill, and I have no idea, again, what he looks like. So I'm thinking, I'm just gonna position myself on this hill and smile at every guy who walks in. And so I am sitting on this hill in my little outfit, and this game ends, and then all of a sudden, he told me they were wearing yellow and green jerseys, and these cars are coming in, and they have yellow and green jerseys, and I'm smiling at every single one of them, and some of them are just going to the court. And then all of a sudden, this one guy breaks from the pack, and he's walking towards me, and I'm like, oh. And then I'm like, gosh, I really don't know what this guy looks like, because that is not how I pictured him. But, okay, hi. And he comes up, and he said, Mary? And I said, yeah. And he said, I'm a friend of Dale Carey. And I am like, no. no. And you know, part of the reason that I got myself to the third chance to be stood up was he was always so sincere and apologetic. And you know, there was this great plan B that if he didn't ruin my night, I could go out and still have fun. And this all happened within a short period of time of turning 21, so I wasn't like 100% sober during the whole time. But that night, I was so sober and so humiliated. And I am walking to my car, and I am promising myself, this, whatever bizarre game that this is, I'm done with it. I'm not playing anymore. And I was wrong. He's not who I thought he was. And I'm never talking to him or his people again. And so I get in my car, and I'm getting off the Tannersville exit, and I'm driving. And by the time that I got to the Bartonsville exit, I had my plan for revenge. Because I thought, that doesn't hurt him, and I needed to hurt him. So I thought, I need a better plan than not talking to him. And so my plan was, I would talk to him, and I would say, oh, it's all fine, sure. And he's gonna call me and ask me out, and I'll agree to go out with him. And then I'm gonna make him fall in love with me. And then I'm gonna break his heart, and I'm gonna make his life miserable. And then I felt so empowered because I had a plan, and I was no longer humiliated. And he did call, and I'm so sorry, I feel terrible. And his dog, who he loved, he was playing with her, and he had dropped her, and he had to take her to the vet. It's not that funny, but so he ended up. He said, do you want to go to the movies? And I said, okay. And then I called my friend Jennifer, and I said, you know that guy who I'm going to marry, but I can't remember what he looks like, and he never shows up for dates? Well, he asked me to go to the movies, and I really do want to see this movie. So why don't you come over, and when he doesn't show up, we'll go out. And if he does show up, the three of us will go out. So in the end, I brought a date to our first date. He didn't show up for dates 2, 3, and 4. I brought a friend to our 5th date. I did make him fall in love with me, and I fell in love with him. Would never want to break his heart. However, over the course of almost 30 years, I do believe I've had the chance to make him miserable at various points in our relationship. And you know, and I do know exactly what he looks like now. But I still get that feeling. I can walk in here, and I don't have to look around. I just get such a sense of safety and security and trust and love when I'm with him. And he still remains and will always be my very best birthday present. Thank you.
Mary Carey!